Hello, everyone. Welcome to Your Daily Five. I am Jane Gallina, also known as Airplane Jane. If you are newer to following me, you can check me out on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, my website, cjanetrade.com, and also on Ticker Talker. If you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at jane@cjanetrade.com. So the holidays are coming up and everybody likes a nice shiny present. So we're looking at gold today. Why? Looking at the gold futures chart, we have a giant cup and handle that is setting up. We have this nice rounded bottom and a bit of a throwback here coming down roughly to that 1800, 1780 level. And now we're starting to break up out of that again, looking for really that break of 1880 for confirmation. We'd also like to see a lot of contracts coming in, showing that there is this interest in the gold to potentially move. With this ginormous cup and handle, looking at a target, roughly, longer term, not tomorrow, but if those people that are short start to get squeezed, it could happen faster than expected. And a risk on trade. Risk on, what do I mean? We have the potential stimulus coming out. That's going to be printing money. That's going to be devaluing the dollar, increasing inflation. Things are going to naturally become more expensive, and people will likely be turning to a consistent commodity as we see the US dollar deflate. It happened back in 2008 during that downward turn in the economy, and silver and gold commodities are likely setting up for that same sort of trade going forward. So this is the gold futures to watch, but I am looking at two gold stocks in particular. I am looking at Barrick Gold. We know that Warren Buffett bought into Barrick Gold, and when we see over here, every time that it pulled back, we had a little bit bigger volume. Over here, we had bigger volume at the top, and now we have bigger volume at the bottom. This is an equi-volume chart from StockCharts, and you can see we had this nice base that was set up down roughly at 2250, and now we're in that upward motion. The averages on the daily chart here are starting to converge up, nice movement, and once we finally get that word of that stimulus, gold could be moving up very nicely. My second gold stock that I am looking at is Eldorado Gold Company. This is traded both on the US exchange and on the Canadian exchanges. The Canadian exchange ticker is ELD.TO. So we can see same scenario that we are starting to see a bit of a channel with a top area up here, roughly $14 and 12. So it's, hey, 14 back to 12, 14 back to 12. We're heading back up and seeing that the gold futures are set to break out on that cup and handle, could likely see a target of 15 or higher on EGO. EGO does tend to trade very similarly to the gold future. So I really like it as a less expensive gold stock, still great opportunities for percentage gains. Mentioning the pandemic and mentioning everything that's going on, we also need to look at fear. What is happening in the market with fear? Remember, VXX is not a great instrument to trade. This was set up to monitor the put action on the S&P 500. So when we start to see this increasing, that means that fear is increasing, also implied volatility and the cost of options. Every time that we've seen in the past that we go sideways and we have a couple of days of consolidation, we tend to have a top in the S&P 500 and a bit of a mini correction. Now this white line is the 50 simple moving average, and I have two faster EMAs. The 4 is the pink and the 8 is the purple. So we can see that it does tend to run up roughly to that 50 EMA. We had it happen here. We had it happen here. We had it happen back in October as well. We went sideways for a little while, and then we shot up above that 50 simple moving average. So looking over the past week, right? Since the beginning of December, we've seen that we've gone sideways on the VIX. Potentially people are placing trades in anticipation of a drawdown in the market. If we go above the 1760 level, there's likely going to be a move back up to 2140. Now, I wouldn't necessarily trade VXX, but I would look at major holdings in the indexes. Top one that I always look at is going to be Apple. So Apple has been setting lower highs. We had the high just after the split back in September. Came down, more people bought into it. Hey, nicely discounted. Instead of 135, we have it 30% off at 105. Nice Black Friday sale there, right? Then it bounces up to 125, all right? We're now $10 lower. Come down, we almost have a little mini wedge, and now we're topping off roughly at 124. It's not able to really break above 124, 125 at the moment. When we pull it back onto a shorter time frame to really see what's happening, it looks almost as if we have a rounded top setting up here. We are slowly setting higher highs, but today could be that downward turn day in which we see the VXX increase. We see the SPY and the Qs pull back, going roughly into the strong end of this week or beginning of next week, where we have a correction that will happen, and then potentially that Santa rally into the end of the year. If you guys are interested in learning anything more about the dark pools, I do follow the dark pools. We saw a lot of activity in gold. So I'm feeling fairly confident with the gold trade because we know that the really big guys are trading it. If you all want to learn more about it, please come and join me at the Training Pit, which you can find at thedarkpools.com. So that is your Daily 5 for today. Thanks for watching and have an amazing day.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.